Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. It is March 22nd. No, 21st. I'm looking at it, and I still said 22nd. I apologize for that one. But it is March 21st, 2019. If you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GST Radio. Clint, you want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? How y'all doing out there? You feel me? Let's get it going. Got a good lineup for y'all tonight.
Yes, I'm pretty sure Willie will be calling him any minute. So without that, we'll go. If you want to cop some merchandise, I just got my shirts. I've been waiting for forever for these shirts. I don't know why it took so long to get here, but y'all got to get some merch. Go to teespring.com/stores/GST Radio. Yeah, I just got the Commander Cheeto one, the all kinfolk and skinfolk, and the one in Protect Our Boys. This is, huh?
I seen the picture you had posted on IG with the Commander Cheeto.
Right. They was like, what does that say? I was like, yeah. I told him too, like Commander Cheeto. Like, who's Commander Cheeto? The orange person in the presidential. And I got a good couple laughs out of it, so that was always good. But I got the other ones. I was waiting for forever. Like, they was taking too long. I think I ordered on I don't know. When I ordered, I don't think the batch had started, so I had to wait till the new batch started. But it's falling along.
Okay.
But yeah, cop that merchandise. Did I say teespring.com/stores/GST Radio? Get y'all merchandise and support the podcast. All that money goes towards everything that's money related to this podcast. Y'all know podcasting things cost. So sometimes you can't be cheap. Sometimes you can't do free. You gotta actually pay. So all that is where it goes. So we can keep giving y'all this good content, and you guys enjoy it. So we see y'all. We see our numbers, and I do want to say that we saw our numbers. I think Willie pointed it out to us this week. I just want to thank y'all for listening to our show, because that's amazing. It was amazing to see like those numbers rise like that. So that's definitely dope. So I guess we're gonna jump right into the topic. Clint, you're the one that came up with this topic, right?
Yeah, sort of. I remember we did it. We actually did a show similar a while ago. I just wanted to delve deeper into it. It was, about having that conversation, finding out. I think we talked before about just having a conversation of sex with our kids. But what about finding out that they're already having sex and then having that conversation? That's a different, I wanted to ask, I really wanted to have, because you and Willie, y'all daughters older than me, y'all have daughters. I have a daughter. So my daughter's still young. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I didn't even know her mom. She's 6, be 7 this year. But my thought process was like, y'all got older daughters. I have sisters, younger sisters, and it's different. That conversation having with your sisters and having with your daughter. So I really wanted to see your perspective of, your daughter a teenager. I know Willie been through it. I think he got a teenage daughter as well. And like, how was that conversation? Like, how do you see yourself handling that conversation?
Well,
how should you handle it?
Yeah, before I answer that, I want to give out the number, because I forgot to do it earlier. But it's 657-383-1155. But to get to that, I actually had that conversation. Some stuff happened last year, so my daughter had to have that conversation. And I was not prepared for it, didn't want to have that conversation. And she basically was thinking about it. So we had to have that conversation. And I just wanted to prepare her, because at the end of the day, we want our kids to remain intact until they're grown. Realistically, that's not the case with our kids. And most of us, that absolutely wasn't the case. So we want them to stay as young as we want them to stay. But realistically speaking, I'm very aware of, like I said, we on the past show we talked about having that conversation, because a lot of the kids in the schools were getting pregnant and stuff like that. One of my daughter's friends had a baby, you know, but he was a boy, so his mom had to prepare for that. But, you know, you just have to kind of, I felt it was even the ideal of it in her head, I had to have that conversation. And so I basically was like, look, I don't really want you to do it, but if you do, this is what you need to do. Like, if this, like, as much as you don't want to talk to me about it, I prefer you talk to me about it. That way we can make sure you're protected, because people lie. People tell you things, you know, just that normal. They're going to tell you they love you, you know, all this stuff like that. And I just want you to be prepared to, like, not even the words, but just be prepared, like, with yourself, whether or not you think you want to do it. Let's talk about birth control. You know, I'm not trying to be a grandma. I'm about to be 36 this year. I don't want to be a grandma anytime soon. So we need to have those type of conversations. We talked about STDs and getting tested. Like it was for me, it was an uncomfortable conversation because nobody wants to have that conversation. The thought or the idea of your child possibly having sex or even any type of sex is like you just worry. So it's just like I wanted her to, even though she really didn't want to have the conversation, I wanted her to be mindful of those things. So if that was the case, I would want her to feel, which I doubt with my daughter, she'll be comfortable with telling me. I'll probably find out after the fact. But she'll probably tell me, I don't want to tell you because I need you to react crazy. Like, I'm not going to react crazy. I just want you to be protected. So if it's bringing condoms into the house and, you know, taking you to Planned Parenthood to have that conversation with them, if it's not with me, I want you to have it with somebody. I would prefer it be with me. But, you know, me and my daughter, we don't do well with certain conversations. And she's always, like, really shy or get upset about, like, you know, I'm really direct. So she can't handle that conversation with just random stuff, not let alone sex. So I would, you know, I suggested to her that we can go to Planned Parenthood and they can talk to you, and that way you can kind of ask questions. Maybe you don't want me to know, you know, the questions you want to ask, but I want you to be able to talk to somebody. If not me, like one of your aunts or somebody, so that way we can, you know, have that open dialogue where you're, I mean, I don't think mentally you're going to be prepared for it at all, but, you know, just be prepared in the educational sense of what could happen, you know, all that.
Okay, I can dig that.
Yeah. I think I would be upset and crying if I found out she was having sex. Like, ah! And then I had to, like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, it's one thing to have the conversation before,
yeah,
but it's another one to have the conversation after, like finding out after, like, oh man, like, all right, it's really going down now, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and we always talk about double standards on here, and I only like to call it different. I guess it is a double standard, because I feel like with the boys, that conversation is different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it necessarily, it has to be different with a boy, you know, because it's a different situation. It's a different mindset going in. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you want to stress to the boy just like you stress to the young lady, paramount. You know what I mean? Don't. I wouldn't want my daughter to feel pressured. So, and I wouldn't want, if I had a son or any of my little brothers, to feel pressured, and not just by the person they're having sex with, but by their peers. Because you know that's something. Yeah, you know that's something we went through in school as well, to where everybody else doing it, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's why I had to have that's why I had to have the conversation with her, because it was like I had, you know, you imagine you check your kid's phone and you see messages and you're like, whoa. And you gotta have that. I think even seeing your kids have those conversations with their friends, it's like, yo, let me, because you know, kids they got that nonchalant, jaded kind of ideal of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when the kids talk, they just talk and they don't. I don't want to say they don't fully understand, but they in some way they don't. They just saying stuff. So, and sometimes they say it without, like, even, like, to the point where they talk about oral sex as if it's not sex. It is. That's sex. Whether or not you're actually penis and vagina sex, oral sex is sex, and you have to protect yourself. Like, I think even adults miss that. Like, that's something you have to protect yourself with. And I think people just so nonchalantly don't even think in that aspect that you talking about teenagers having this conversation like it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, like, if you are, that's and on top of that, if you have kids with low self-esteem, I don't want to say I'm not going to say guys now. I don't want to be double standards, but with females that have low self-esteem, if you're getting attention in the ideal of sex, you might gear towards it more because that's where you're getting your attention, because you don't have that self-esteem to realize that it's more than that. It's more to life than that. You kind of lose the fact of getting that reputation of you being this fast girl, or you being the type of girl that they can, like, just, you have to understand it in its entirety. And I think when you're talking about teenagers and kids, it's like they don't understand that. It's just like a ha he, or it's not nothing. It is.
I know. And the question that I think they need to ask is, why do you feel like now it's an important time to have sex? Why do you want to start having sex now?
Yeah.
At this age, you feel me? And I think they should have a valid answer. You feel me? I think back when I was younger, a little kid, the first time I had sex, if they was to ask me, if somebody was to ask me, why am I doing it, I really don't think I can give a valid answer outside of, everybody else doing it. I want to see what it's like. You feel me?
I know,
that's
growing
the only.
Like,
you feel me?
That's the only. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, us growing up, that was a big thing too. A lot of people was doing it, and that was the pressure. Like, you wasn't liked. Like, well, I know for me growing up, we knew certain girls was doing extra stuff or doing, like, that type of stuff. If you weren't, you were like a nobody. So it's like that peer pressure. You're a good girl. You're a goody goody. Or if reverse, if boys, you scared. That.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine it now. It's so live, like, and direct in these kids' faces. Social media world has taken over, and like we had it where we was teaching each other. Now it's like this big thing. Like, they're in competition to be popular, to be seen as to be so popular. Oh, I had sex. Like, it's a popularity thing.
Yeah, it's so much they have to deal with now that we really didn't have to deal with. Like, certain conversations they have to worry about back then that you got to worry about now, like being recorded.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
Feel me? You know what I mean? That revenge porn, stuff like that. It's like you don't want nobody out. You don't want to be put on Front Street. You don't want to be somebody's joke.
Yeah.
That's something I would never want my daughter to experience.
Absolutely.
Something like that. I would never. So, but those are the type of conversations you got to have. You got to have those conversations with them to safeguard them from that. Because they may not even be thinking about that. And then on the flip side, you got some of these kids out here, they like doing that now too. So it's like, you gotta have a conversation with them, like, the stuff you do now, it could come out later. And what if you don't want nothing to come out later that you regret? You feel me? You don't want to do something
especially
stupid
with our
now
boys,
that affects you down the line.
like,
yeah.
Especially with our boys, that peer pressure, and then they end up doing something. And that's another thing with teenagers, especially our boys. Like, they get, like, you see all these cases coming out when these kids were teenagers, they did something stupid because they were, like, in this group setting, whereas they probably wouldn't do it by themselves, but they were in group settings, and now they got rape charges and stuff like that. So we definitely have to, like you said, protect our boys, like protect our girls. We got to tell our boys to be smart, make better decisions. No means no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you because there's, like, they may think it's innocent and, she was just playing, like grown men do, and it becomes a he said, she said, where he did something that she didn't want to do. So you have to definitely talk to these kids. You have to make sure that, especially like with our girls, no means no. And if you don't want to do it, you get out of the situation. If it's an issue, like, don't feel ashamed. Let me know, and I'll protect you. Same with our boys. No means no, and protect yourself. Don't get caught up in the situation, because if you, like, especially with our boys, they so easily get caught up with a rape charge that they end up on a predator list, and they, you know.
And furthermore, even more important to that, than with the young boys, you know, and it's up to men to have these conversations with the boys too, is that it's okay for you to say no too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because that's something that's just really strictly among men that we deal with, because, you know, you get looked at a certain way. Like, yo, you had it. You turned it down. She was doing that. You turned it down. And now they looking at you crazy. You know what I mean? She looking at you crazy. You get labeled a certain way just because you may have not been interested. She may have did something to turn you off. But, you know, the way society is set up is that, you know, you're supposed to be, as a boy or a young man, you're supposed to be thankful that she's offering it up to you, and you're supposed to accept it. Like, no, you don't. If that situation, young man, makes you feel uncomfortable, it's okay to say no. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're not less of a man. You feel me? You don't have to, you know what I mean, forget all that. If you're not comfortable, just like if a young lady is not comfortable, she has the right to say no and walk away. You have that same exact right. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to go down. You know what I mean? Don't feel pressure into doing something. You know? Exactly. And then at the same time, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You know what I mean? Don't put too much pressure on yourself to feel as though you have to, because so many things can go left. You know, if you know at this particular time in your life, you're barely able, like, this is what I try to stress. You know, my little brother just had a baby. You know what I mean? My little nephew. Hey, it is what it is. But one thing I try to stress to him before it happened, you know, like, he just turned 18. You know, the baby, when he was 17, when the baby was born, he just turned 18. But one thing I told him before it happened was, like, you have to be able to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Be sure what you're doing, because if she was to get pregnant, now you have to take care of yourself and that. And if you're not able to take care of yourself, how are you going to do that? You're just making your life. You're just going to make life harder and force you to make decisions that you're not really prepared to make, or you're going to make bad decisions. You know, and you know, but you know, people end up sometimes you can't stop them from doing what they want to do. And lo and behold, he ended up getting his little girlfriend pregnant. And, you know, now he's seeing how real it is. You know, yes, but, like, you got to live with your choices. You got to live with your choices. And sex, you know, it's a beautiful thing, but it's not a simple thing.
No, it's not. But hold on, Clint. We've got a caller. I want to get them in. Caller, you on the line with GFT Radio. What's your name?
Hey, what up? It's Skrilla.
What up?
Skrilla, what up?
What up? Tweeting me. It was up.
Yeah. What's good, bro? Bro said he was going to call in.
Yeah, I was listening to the conversation.
So give us some input. What do you think? How would you handle the conversation? Or two parts. You know, first, as a man now, what do you wish you were told as a young man about sex as a teenager, and then how would you relate that to your kids in the future?
Man, honestly, I didn't have it that bad. Like, I didn't have nobody talk to me about it. But I didn't have no, like, crazy bad experiences. It wasn't nothing like, you know, with me coming up. So it's like, you know, talking, like, to my son, I would just have to tell them to be careful, just to listen to what the woman says. Basically, you got to play by her rules when you playing that game. You got to listen to what she say, and even then, like sometimes you might have to not listen to what she say in a good way though. Like, if you feel like it's a situation where you shouldn't be doing something and she telling you to do it, then maybe you shouldn't do it. Same thing for my daughter. I got a daughter too, so when they get to that age, I'm gonna have to, have a real talk with them. I didn't have no talk when I came up, but I feel like it came out all right.
Do you wish you would have had a talk?
I mean, I don't know to keep it 100 because I didn't grow up with no real like male figures around. So it was my mom, and I don't think I wanted to have that talk with my mom. So, I told Clint the other day it was a situation. I kind of got caught up with something, and my mom found out, and she kind of like, hey, we about to go, we going to have a talk, and we going to go here and talk about this, but she ain't followed through with it, but I mean, I think she kind of knew I was kind of like a little bit mature.
With me, it was, I don't know, with my pop, it was more so, like if we didn't have a talk, I guess he was more so wanted to see, it was more like a pride thing when he realized I was. It was like that, like an attaboy. That's my boy. You feel me? When he found out, to more so with my mom, she was more protective of me growing up with the females. Like she ain't really, like a girl called my house, she'll hang up on you, boom. You feel me? Like she wasn't deep. You feel me? Don't call my crib, no, call, boom, bang on you. You feel me? That's just how my mom was. As as I got older, later in my teens, like 16, 17, you feel me? She got, it was whatever by that thing. But like 14, 30, like the early teenage years, like she just wasn't deep. More so with my pop was, like I said, we really never had the conversation, but he would, you having sex. You know what I mean? You getting your joint wet, that's how you talk. You know what I mean? My dad, he was more joking with it. You feel me? And I like, man, just whatever. You feel me? I wouldn't really, sometimes I'd be like, no. And then when I finally admitted it to him, he was like, all right, that's what it is. You feel me? But I think from that generation, that's how they handled it. You know what I mean? Well, I think now we're in a whole different space and a whole different to where I think now those conversations are needed. Because
my mom, my mom didn't have no conversation. My mom was a nurse. What she did for us is she sat us all down because we like a couple years apart. Like it's like a year and a half apart. So we was like all around the same age. So what she sat us down with a medical book, a medical dictionary, and was like, if you have sex, this is what's going to happen to you. It was a bunch of STDs. She was fit through the pages, and that was our talk. But that was our talk, like seriously. And then if you asked her about it, you was assumed to be having it, and then you got your ass whooped. So like you couldn't like. I wish that we actually really had like a real talk. I think that would have been better. But I just feel like it would have went over better with us to have the talk instead of trying to avoid. Like she tried to scare us into not doing it. And my mom kind of tried to shelter us from a lot of things, but our friends were like, our friends were how our kids' friends are, telling them about stuff, and then like we didn't really get that parent knowledge. I mean, you had health class, but they give you the PG version, and your friends over there breaking it down for you, and your mom just like, we're not going to talk about it. And we didn't have my stepdad didn't talk to us about it at all. So it was just like we had our own little idea of what it was, and we didn't really. I guess none of us knew what it was until we actually started having it, and then you damn sure couldn't tell your mom like you was doing nothing. So my mom didn't know I was having sex until I got pregnant with my daughter. That's how like I was letting my life be great. Like I was not.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was like, oh my God, what? And I was like, yeah.
I think another thing we need to stress to our boys, the young boy, is, you know what I mean, it's not a competition.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Like, I done had, as a grown man, I done had conversation with my boys, and a few of them, you know, they'd be like, you know, when they was younger, they was just trying to get their numbers up because they thought that's just what it was. You feel me? Like, you got to get as many stripes on your belt as you could. You feel me? That's what make you who, you know what I mean? If you ain't got the numbers, you ain't really doing nothing. But that's not necessarily the case. That's really never the case, to be honest.
It's not the case at all.
Yeah, it's really not the case because, you know, I was having a friend, he was telling me about it. I'm like, you know, first of all, quality is always better than quantity.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Quality is always better than quantity. And then, you know, when within that quantity, you gotta look at, you know what I mean, was it worth it, the risk you take to have sex with certain people, like just to have sex? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You really putting your life on the line in certain situations. You know what I mean? You really putting your life on the line. You know what I mean? So you gotta be really aware, and like you don't have to rush it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to feel like you gotta keep up with the next dude. You feel me? Because you really don't know what he dealing with. I know a lot of, you feel me? Because we always talk about, you feel me, young boys really don't have a space to speak up to where, you know what I mean, like we really sexually like perverted. Like because we don't get the same treatment that the young woman get, as far as she's supposed to take care of her health. She's supposed to be protected. You feel me? Just like Skrilla just said, it's whatever we're taught. It's whatever she wants. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The dude got to go after female to where it really is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a common thing. Everything supposed to be consistent. Supposed to be flowing. You feel me? You know what I mean? You have to be just as safe. It's supposed to be in a space to where you feel just as safe and secure as she does.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Physically, emotionally, and mentally. You feel me? Because then when y'all both in that space, then you know what I mean, it could be something special, but it can't really be nothing special if, you know what I mean, you got to be guarded. You got to make sure everything right. You got to make sure, you know what I mean, you got to have all these questions. It's a lot of things up in the air. You know what I mean? You should be able, if you can't have that conversation, if that situation isn't safe and secure for both of y'all, then y'all shouldn't be doing it. If there's any doubt in the air, then, you know what I mean, it should be no issue to wait. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with waiting. There's nothing wrong with waiting.
What up, though?
I agree. Who is that? Skrilla? Willie? What's going on?
Hey.
Who is that?
No, this Will. Yeah, I just joined. Yeah. What up, though, y'all? I just heard got a guest on too. What up, bruh? Yeah, I just joined when you guys were talking about the conversations that y'all did have, and just definitely wanted to comment that, you know, I know it's definitely one of those things where, you know, it depends on, you know, how your parents approached it as well as how we approach things with our kids. And I know that, you know, when I was coming up, my parents, they were kind of the same way that Sonny described in terms of, you know, they both was like, you know, don't bring no babies home. You're gonna get diseases, and you know there was always like the scare tactic, you know what I mean? And it was always a warning, you know, versus a full understanding, that kind of thing. And I mean, like you said, I think that's the difference, is we have to kind of break that cycle and making sure we're giving our kids a full understanding, giving them you know, a good education of what sex is and what, you know, the responsibilities are and what the reasons and all that kind of stuff. And I think when my kids were coming up, we kind of took that approach. Still kind of kept it PG, just because you know how it is. You as a parent, you still don't want to be all like, oh, this is fucking and this is sex and this is all that kind of stuff. You ain't going all the deep end with it, but but still. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's the excitement, right? It's definitely, like Sonny mentioned earlier, your friends, they when sex ed giving you PG, your friends giving you X-rated. So, and that's that excitement that kids do go, get attracted to in terms of wanting to hear more, that kind of thing. And, but, I think still having just education over and information over scare tactics, I think is still, more important. I think like with my older kids, it was definitely more along the lines of you can talk to us about this, and you can be open about the issues you're having, the feelings you're having, and you can here's the information that you need. Here's the things that are going on. Here's what you're going to go through. I remember having a conversation with my twins, and it was because they started going out to parties. They started hanging out with with older kids and that kind of thing. And I just had to like level with them, like, look, these are the things you're going to deal with. These are the peer pressures that you're going to deal with. Basically, I told them, like, look, people gonna come at you. People gonna want you to do things because they're doing it, and they're gonna want you to do things and tell you that this is what everybody else is doing, and this is what's up, and this is what what's popping right now, and explaining to them about drugs, sex, I mean, we didn't call it bullying, but telling them that ganging up on people, all that kind of stuff. It was like you have to really just give them all the information, and as well as making sure that they know that basically. I mean, I won't say that you have to know exactly how all their friends are going to put it to them and all the things they're going to face, but as much as you can tell them, it's best. Because if you try to hide certain things or you try to minimize certain things and it comes at them hard and fast, then they're not going to be prepared. You know what I mean? They're not going to be ready, and it's better for them to be ready than for them to get caught off guard, because then they're not going to know how to handle it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of, like, I would want to do it really. I was thinking about how it should be done. I wish I would have did it with my little brothers, and my sisters, but I want to do it with my daughter. Is have like a real family discussion about it. Like, I want to have everybody around. You feel me? And talk it out, like because I feel like if you could have that, like, why don't we have that discussion? Why are we afraid to have that discussion as a family? You know what I mean? Why shouldn't we? You feel me? Because
well, Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just think it's important because if I want my daughter to know she could be vulnerable, but also not be judged. You know what I mean? Not be judged, because I've been there. You feel me? And like, and looking back on it now, I wish me and my pop would have had a deeper conversation. You feel me? Or I wish me and my uncles would have had a deeper conversation instead of those attaboy conversations. You know what I mean? Or just jokes. I wish we would have had a deeper conversation, because it's a lot of stuff we don't we never talk about the emotions and feelings attached to having sex.
Yeah.
True. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the kids should know, like, that comes with it. And sometimes it's unexpected. You feel me? Sometimes you get so caught up in the lust of it, the good feeling of it. Now you like, it's something when it's not, because you're blinded by just the sex. You know what I mean? Like, those type of conversations, you should have, because I think we talked about in previous shows just a couple of weeks ago about how our community is emotionally immature, to how a lot of our relationships are actually sexually based and not really based in any, like the foundation of the relationship is based on sex, and how that a relationship like that don't last. And there's so many relationships out here, you feel me, that's and children have been born by just people being caught up in lust, not really in love, or not really wanting to deal with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? All because we get caught up in the joy and the feel goodness of just having sex. And I feel like we should really delve into getting to having those type conversations with our kids.
Right.
Instead of just, because the information, of course, we're always giving the information as to the or the hardships of raising kids, having to do it on your own. You could tell them all the statistics. You could show them examples of that, but it's still so much more that comes with it that I think we need to, to give them the full spectrum. You know what I mean? Because we're going to give them the truth. You feel me? Give them the whole truth.
And in my mind, like, I ain't had this talk with my kids yet because they're young, but in my mind, I got like a triangle offense set up. So it's like, it's kind of like what she said about the scare tactic with the pictures. Like, I want to do that. That's one of the tactics. And then I want to hit them with the nice talk. The birds and the bees, and caring for somebody is nice and all that stuff. And then the third one, straight raw. Hey, is you fucking? Is you? Excuse my language. Is you? What's going on? You having sex? Like, is there somebody you feeling? Is somebody feeling you? Like, what's going on? Like, And I feel like if you hit them with all three. Now, like I said, this is in my mind, but like I feel like if you hit them with all three and still be open to listen, and that's if they want to talk, because some kids don't want to talk. No matter how nice you be.
That way.
Yeah, it's like some kids just don't want to talk, so it don't matter what you do. But if you got a kid that do want to talk, or that's that you could communicate with, I feel like if you hit them with the triangle and then still leave your ears open and be able to, I feel like, it could go so much smoother because of the the internet, because we could sit down and we could have a talk, and if it's something you asking me that I don't know, then boom, we pulling out phones and we looking it up right here, right now. So we both get an understanding of, what's up. You know what I mean? But the future, will tell what happens. So, but I try to I even had, before my son was born, I had a notebook and I started writing down things that I wanted to teach him and things that I wanted to do with him. Just stuff that I immediately I started thinking of stuff that I wasn't taught, and it's just you just gotta. I feel like a big part of it is listening, because
providing
if it ain't no communication and if y'all can't vibe, then no matter how much you talk to them or whatever pictures you show them, it's like whatever you want to do, whatever they want to do, they're going to do. Just like when we was young, whatever we wanted to do, we did it. However we wanted to get to wherever we wanted to get to, we lied and said where we, we going to this house and we really was at that house, and we, we did whatever we had to do. So what's going to happen is going to happen. But I feel like all you could do is just try to prepare them the best and just try to keep the communication open and be aware of their friends. Because if you could get a temperature on their friends, I feel like you could get a temperature on what's going on, when you're not around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely from the point you take in terms of the 3-point, or the triangle offense. That's definitely a great idea, especially when it comes to giving them information that we didn't get, as well as I like your last point too about getting a temperature for their friends. I mean, it's kind of hard to do the friend thing because their friends are going to try to be your friends when they come around. They're going to be trying to be the best friends, the best example of the friends that they want to be. Because I remember one of my son's best friends. This boy, I just assumed that he was just based on the way he acted around my house, and it was crazy because I was the type of parent. I learned how to be, what I felt like was being stealth and being like, kind of like listening in or just kind of observing, no matter how they tried to, represent themselves, directly to me. I tried to pay attention when I thought they weren't, looking. And, when my kids would be outside playing, when my kids would be, doing things away from me, I would just kind of, try to pay attention to their friends. And one of my son's best friends, this kid, I was like, this boy is top notch. He a stand up guy. He gonna tell his boys, what not to do and how to do it. He's more of, the one that's, at least I felt like I could, trust to do the right thing when the wrong thing is an option. And it was crazy because my son had gotten into a lot of trouble at one point, and we went to this counseling thing. And in the counseling, they had him do some activities where he would describe some of the things he had did wrong that I didn't know about and all this other kind of stuff. And so he was telling me about one of the things he was doing wrong, and one of them was like, he was going out with some of his friends, and they was like basically thinking they gangbangers, you know what I mean, and fighting and stuff like that. So I'm thinking like, okay, I'm like, well, so now I want names. I'm like, so tell me who else, who's these other kids? Because I'm like, it can't be nobody I know about besides just like 1 or 2 kids that I kind of named out. One of them I had right. The other one I did, and then he was like, he told me the third one or fourth one. And I'm like, wait, I'm like him? Like your best friend? He's like, yeah. I'm like, really? Like, one, the kid was like the littlest one. And then he was also, like I said, he was like, I mean, not an angel, but you know what I mean? I just knew this kid was like one of those kids who was going to be like, no, dog, we're not doing this. That kind of thing. And no, he was like, no, he's the ringleader. And I'm like, wow. I couldn't believe it. And it was just because he represented himself. I mean, and he came back around when they all, got a little older. And I actually confronted him about it. I was like, bro, what was good when you was younger? He was like, man, I just knew to be real good around people's parents, no matter what. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't really think about it like that,
But you know what, Willie?
Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of that dude. And that's what scares me about my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because I was that dude that you could bring home that your mom gonna be like, yo, he a nice guy. Because first of all, I'm not stupid. You feel me? Yeah, like I'm not stupid.
Right.
You feel me? I'm raised around older people, so I know how to converse. I know how to conduct myself around older people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the same person that's about to have your daughter face down, ass up when you go upstairs. You feel me?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes me nervous. Made me think about that. Yeah, that situation made me think about that too, because I was like, damn, I guess low key I was that kind of same person too, because I wasn't putting it on everything. So like you say, in the same way in your situation, I was the same kind of way. And it was just, and also, there was a couple other things like, I had to admit to myself, like, yeah, you know what, low key, I did represent myself a certain way to a lot of adults and a lot of, people.
I got a radio,
Oh, no. I heard it too.
Not me.
Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, I represent myself in a certain way to people's parents and to older folks. But then, it was like when it was popping, it was popping, and I was with a lot of things, and I was doing a lot of things. So it's like, you do learn how to be, basically the perfect picture of youth when you're around certain people, or when you're in somebody's house, or when you're hanging out with somebody's family versus, when it's just you and your friends. We all have our faces that we show at different situations. I mean, even when it's around certain friends. I mean, I got a group of friends where I act a certain way with, where, if I'm with another group of friends, I'm a totally different person because I just know how that group is rolling. So
yeah. So see, I wasn't one of them kids. I think everybody's parents thought I was up to something. Like, apparently I looked like I was doing something I wasn't supposed to, even though I really wasn't.
That's a lie.
Right. You were
as an adult, hold on. As an adult, yes. No, but I remember dating this guy in high school, and his mom asked me what was my intention with her son, and I'm like, wait, what? I need you to talk to your son.
Damn.
What's his intention with me? I'm innocent. I don't know what he's doing.
She's like, there's nothing innocent about you, child.
No, but I really, it really wasn't me, though. But she eventually learned that. But, it was like, but she was that mama bear with her son. My mom, I was like, Mom, why people think I'm just on some, even as an adult, people think I'm just into some crazy stuff. I be chilling. I don't know nobody talking about. I be living my best life. But I think kind of go back to the, if we think our kids are having sex, I think, like one of our bullet points was, what would you stress to them about safe sex and contraceptives? So if you found out your daughter or your son was having sex, would you how hard would you stress safe sex? And for your daughters, would you be I know I would be very let's get on some birth control type of situation. That's what I would like. I would want her to. I'm definitely going to express safe sex, condoms and STDs like that, whatever. But I'm also like, if you're having it, I need you to be on birth control.
Yeah, I'm
would
with.
Would y'all do that?
I'm with all of that. That's going in the discussion too. Birth control, condoms, all of that. I got a question though. Cause y'all got older kids. What are some of the signs that let you know that your kids might be trying to have sex, or that your kids are having sex, or that the kids around them are having sex, or something? Like, what's some of the stuff to look out for, or some of the stuff that y'all saw, or
when you walk into a room and two of the kids are in there having sex, that's usually
you know what, Willie?
That's usually my sign. That was how I found out a couple of times. I was like, oh shit, so you having sex too? Damn. So I think I probably got the oldest kids in the group here. I would say my kind of, I won't say sign, but and I'm gonna get back to your question in a second here, Sonny. My kind of sign wasn't really. It was, I looked at it the way I did, right? I looked at it from that perspective. I don't think there's any explicit or specific way that you're going to find out your kid is having sex until they let you know, or until you catch them. So don't feel like there's going to be this glowing red light over your kid's head that say, I'm no longer a virgin, because they're going to do things in their own way and at their own time, so long as, like I said, they don't get caught. And because I know my mom, she told this girl one day, I brought this girl home, she told this girl, my son is a virgin, and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. She said this in front of me. And I kind of looked at my mom and was like, who, a virgin? Like, what are you talking about? And you know, and that was when I had to blow my mom's mind because she felt like, you know, I was this perfect picture of youth. And, you know, and I looked, and I kind of had the same situation with my older kids where I just kind of had to wait until, I won't say wait until they told me, but they, you know, wait until they were ready to let the cat out the bag. And the thing is that with the way I approached it, or, you know, to be honest, the way their mother approached it, you know, because I didn't really know the best way to go at it. She didn't either, but we both kind of talked about it, and we kind of came up with a couple of different ideas. And so the way that she had decided to do it was, you know, in terms of the education part, and I felt like that turned out to be a good idea. And but we also, you know, we stressed contraception, we stressed being responsible, and like I said, I stressed the part about the peer pressure. And my oldest daughter, she kind of just like let us know. So that was just straight up. My second daughter and my oldest son, they both were kind of like the situation where you just kind of figure out from a lot of conversations, a lot of discussion, you know, and then being able to have them say, hey, I'm ready to go do X, Y, Z, or like my son, you know, when he was ready to get condoms, you know, he just basically was like, you know, I think I need some condoms, blah, 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 blah. And my daughter was already on the pill, because you know how a lot of people, they want to put their daughters on the pill immediately. But it was like the conversations we were having with her about the boys she was dating and the things that she was doing, you know, it just kind of, you know, we slowly just kind of pulled it out, and was like, you know, just kept stressing the fact of, and this is, I guess, is going back to your statement, Sonny, or to your question, Sonny, is how you approach what you do. And that's basically, you know, we found out our kids are having sex, or we thought they were having sex, you know, we just kind of really pushed the importance of love, marriage, and contraception. You know, saying, hey, you know, we know people are out here having sex without being married, but it's still a good idea because it's a serious thing. You have a lot of repercussions from being, you know, between pregnancy and disease. You have a lot of responsibilities that come with having sex. We know it feels good. We know it's like everybody's pressuring you to do it. Everybody's thinking about it, you know, and especially when I caught my daughter's best friend having sex in my house, or not having sex, but trying to have sex or doing sexual things in my house, it was like I really had to have that conversation with my daughter, because it's like, okay, regardless if I feel like you're at an age you're going to do it, and, you know, that's how my daughter tried to blow it off to me, like, oh, I'm not, you know, I don't feel like I'm old enough to be doing that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it doesn't matter. There's girls your age doing it because your friends are here trying to do it. So, you know, this tells you that it's time as well. When you know that other kids, and sometimes you got to approach it that way. You know, we know kids at 12, at 10, at 9 are having sex. When your kid gets to, you know, 7, 8 years old, it's time to start educating them. When they get to 9, 10 years old, it's time to stress, you know, the fact that, you know, things are going to be changing. Friends are going to be peer pressuring you. When they hit that, you know, middle school, and you know that middle school is probably the highest rate of teen pregnancy ages, or preteen pregnancy ages is in middle school. It's time to really start watching who they're around, what they're doing, what activities they're doing, because, you know, we all know how fast we can be at getting a little quickie in and doing little nasty things to each other. So we got to be real with our kids, like, you know, hey, you don't need to be going out with such and such, or you don't need to be doing this, or just because all your friends are going to this party don't mean you need to go, that kind of thing, because you know what happens at them parties. You're having sex, or you're doing drugs, or you're trying to do those things, right? So you got to, you know, take the approach, the hard approach with your kids if you want to protect them from stuff like that. And then when they get to be teenagers, you know, you got to be more lenient or you know, loosen up the restrictions, because they do need to grow up. And, you know, you don't need to fight with them every time they want to go somewhere and do something, because that's what it's going to create. You're going to fight with them. So you have to learn how to pick your battles. You know, I mean, I used to drive my kids to the parties, you know, but then I would be like, I'm about to be outside though, and I know what's going on, and I know what's happening, blah, 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 blah. Or if it's that kind of place, I'm going to be inside, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's the thing. You have to learn how to not only read your kids and read what they're doing, but have them comfortable enough to come to you about it, because you're not going to ever know until they tell you, or like I said, unless you catch them.
Well, I want to answer a similar question before y'all answer it, but the question I asked. But for me, I figured I had warning signs. A couple of her friends that she went to school with and were pregnant. And
yeah.
I remember I got like I said, I checked her phone periodically at random days. I used to random spot check her phone. Different conversations. The conversations were a little bit different, and like I thought my daughter was just like this. You know, she didn't really have those conversations, and like had that. I didn't think she had those ideas in her head, and just off the conversation, it raised a red flag to me. So I need to be talking to her, type of situation. And then one situation in particular that I really had to sit down and have a conversation with her, because I don't want, we had to have that conversation that you need to be mindful of the stuff that you say and do, because it can be perceived a certain way, and if you're not doing these things, it's looking, you know, it's looking like you're coming off as you are, and like at this point, I really don't know one way or the other. Eventually, I got some confirmation on some of the things, by the conversation she was having with her friends as I randomly checked her phone, and we had to have those conversations, and I explained to her, if you plan on doing anything, just like we can go down to Planned Parenthood, we can get some, we can get you some birth control, like we can do a lot of things. I will prefer you be prepared if you're going to, because at the end of the day, we can't stop them. They have like Willie said, they have ways. You know, we had ways that we wanted to do. We could say we're going to so and so house, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna go to the movies and so and so. Going to movies with your friends end up sometimes being a double date, and y'all doing some stupid things because y'all having that little, you know, if your friend a little fast, you might try to follow suit. I don't know, but I don't want you to be caught out there. But at the end of the day, like first of all, I know too many people, and too many people know her that she don't know that I know. So I'm like, if you do something messed up, I'm gonna find out. So like, I need you to be on point, and if you are going to be doing things, I need a heads up so I can protect you. Like I know my daughter don't want to have these conversations, but at the end of the day, I'm solely protecting you. I don't care what your friends doing. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I care what you're doing. So if so-and-so mom don't give a damn, I'm not their mom. I'm yours, and I'm gonna be on you, and like at the same time, I try to be like Willie said, little hands off to an extent, because like I let her, like on a weekday, she can't come and go. She can go to work, but she can't go everywhere else. It's a weekday. The weekend, if you want to go hang out with your friends to the movies and stuff like that, I'm fine with that. But even that, I get anxiety because I already know the conversations that you and your friends have had. So it's like, if you plan on doing that, please, just like I don't have to know the details. I don't have to know the day. But if you think about doing it, just let me take you to the clinic and or to a doctor and like make sure you're protected.
I agree.
Okay.
I could.
And actually,
I just wanted to piggyback off. I just wanted to piggyback off what y'all was saying as far as the friends go, because you know, like I was able to tell my young sisters, by their friends, and by the actions of their friends. You feel me? Like I knew my back in the day when my sister was having sex, because you know, I see she had a little fast friend. I see the friend was fast, you know, and I'm talking about the one that's closest to me, my sister. I got her about 6 years. So I remember at the time, she was probably like 16, I was probably like 21, 22. And I could just see the young girl that was her friend, and how she was with the other boys, and how, you know, you could tell she was promiscuous at a young age. And I was like, yeah, see. And you know, you don't want to say birds of a feather flock together, but, you know, your friends will reveal the side of you. I don't care what nobody said. Your friends will reveal the side of you. And, you know, that's when I was able to, have that conversation with her, and that's what I knew what it was. So like your friend, that's what I'm gonna pay attention to. I'm gonna pay attention to her friends, but also, I think you touched on it yourself earlier, Skrilla. Communication, being able to provide, a space. I don't want to do the guessing game. I don't want to, I don't want to go through that with my daughter. You feel me? But like you said, sometimes growing up, some kids, they don't want to have that conversation. My daughter may not want to have that conversation with me. You feel me? She may hide it from me the best way she can. She may try to fool me, but I want her to know that the space, she got that freedom with me to have that conversation without being judged.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because that's the only way I can see that for me, not the only way, the easiest way for me to get through to her is just to be like, listen, the floor is open. I'm not going to judge you. I love you more than anybody at the end of the day. So, it's not going to be no disappointment. It's not going to be, it's just going to be, we're going to have to deal with it. I can't say it ain't going to be no disappointment, especially depending on how young she is. But, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. I know I was young. You feel me? I'm pretty sure my mom would have found out when I first had sex, she would have been disappointed. She would have felt like she failed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You feel me? But that's why I have to know. That's why I have to tell my mom, it really was nothing you can do. You couldn't prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It was out of her hands. It really came to a point to where it was out of her hands. So if I know that was my situation, you feel me? How can I, I can't judge my daughter harshly. I know it's going to be out of my hands. I'm not going to know unless she feel comfortable enough to tell me. And as far as Sonny, as far as your question about the contraceptives, that's it. My dad handed me a pack of condoms. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me, huh? Like I said, it wasn't really much conversation. It was like, protect yourself. You feel me? I know you probably out there doing something, take that. You feel me? That's basically it. You feel me? You damn right. I'm going to be take all these condoms. You feel me? Take this whole bag of condoms, please. Because I am not trying to be a grandfather before you're ready.
I don't want to be a grandma before I'm ready. I don't want her to be a kid. And that's one thing. And I laugh because I said this on Facebook one day, and I meant that shit. I don't want to raise a thought. I don't. And at the end of the day, I want her to have self-respect for herself because, and to want more for herself, and I also want her to not follow my footsteps. Yes, I had her when I was 18 going into 19. But I don't want her to experience that. I want her to be able to live her life for as long as she can, being a normal person, a single person, worrying about taking care of herself versus raising the baby because it's hard. It's not easy. And I don't want her to get jaded and not to say that she's going to follow my footsteps, but, you grow up in a household with a single parent, you may get that ideal that, she watched me struggle. She's 16. I'm still struggling with her brother. I make it work, but at the end of the day, I don't want her to see that as that's her goal in life. No, I want you better. So any way that I can do that, that's what I'm going to try to do. Same with my son. I don't want him to grow up being a thought either. I want him to be a respectable young man that finds him a good person and lives his life and not be a baby daddy or anything at a young age. I want the same for him like I want for my daughter. And it's just you don't want them to be caught up in the situation and I'm so less worried about a reputation. I'm more worried about them having a future outside of what they see on a normal.
I definitely feel you on that. Feel me? Break that cycle. I feel like I broke the cycle. I broke the cycle. Everybody couldn't say my sister Kenya, she had hers child when she was a teenager, but she still, feel me, didn't stop her grind. You feel me? Stop her from living her life. but I know it has made it harder. And it's made, but I think about it. I waited till I was 28, 29, and I still went through experienced some of the same things she experienced when she got pregnant at 18, 19, it was 17, 18. You know what I mean? So, that's the crazy part about having kids. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen or how it's going to turn out. You feel me? And that uncertainty is why I agree with you to where you should do get as much as you want to get out individually as you can before you even put yourself in position to have a kid.
Yeah.
You feel me? Get it out. Get it out the way. Get all your foolishness out the way. Get all your foolishness out the way. But you do not want to be still engaging in foolishness by trying to raise a child.
When you got kids. Exactly.
Yeah. You feel me?
Like you too old, you don't sit down, you're a whole parent. Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. For real. But see, here it'll be a random question. After show, and I want to get to Willie question that Willie wanted to talk about in the after show, which kind of correlates to this. I got a question for y'all. What type of Willie already got the answer. But what type of grandparents do y'all think y'all would be? Already know the type of grandparent I'm gonna be. What the type of grandparents y'all think y'all gonna be?
I'll let Skrilla go first.
I don't know. Shoot, I'd probably be the cool grandpa. Like, I mean, shoot, that's the point, right? Like, I mean, I'm still going, not just let them run all over me. My grandma ain't let me run over her, but I still got away with stuff that I wouldn't have got away with my mom. So I just I probably try to follow her pattern.
I think I would be the mean/fun grandma, because I'll let you know I beat your ass, and I mean it. Like, look at my face. I punch you in the face, and I'm like the asshole. So I think I'm just gonna be like that grandma that's gonna like have no filter. But at the end of the day, you're gonna know that I love you, and everything I'm saying to you is because I want better for you. Like, I'm not gonna be like I want to be like kind of how my grandma was a little bit, like, but with a little bit of pettiness. Because I got to put that in there just a little bit. But I think I'm gonna be a good grandma. Like, I don't want to enable my daughter and be that parent that's always doing so she can run the streets. No, I'll help you out, and I'm gonna request my grandkids, but you the parent. So when I'm ready to go out, I need you to take the child, because I'm going to bingo or something. I'm going to Atlantic City to go gamble my money away. Take your babies. I'm not involved this weekend. I'm off.
Willie, what type of grandpa you is?
So I'm a little bit of all of those. So my oldest
on vacation.
Yeah, you know how it is. See, my oldest grandson, he probably know me the best, because one, he older, but he also he spent more time with me. I took care of him when he was a baby and his mom was working and stuff, and so I had him the whole summer, part of the school year when he was just starting school as well. So it was one of those relationships where he kind of could get away with stuff that my kids couldn't get away with, because one, he was the baby, and then two, he was my grandson, so I had to spoil him. And then, but I still made sure he knew that he got to respect, he got to respect me, respect my house, respect my respect his uncles and aunts and stuff, mainly because they all get kids too. So, but I think I was definitely the type where I was I was energetic, I was doing, running around doing stuff with him, taking him to the park, playing games with him, you know. So I was the fun granddad, you know. His father's side, his grandmother was older, a lot older than us. So, you know, so when he went over her house, he always described it as boring and quiet, because she was like, one, she was religious, so she didn't want him doing certain things, and then she was like I said, she was older, so she was like the type that made him sit down and watch TV with her and stuff like that. So he, you know, he knew that when he came over my house, we was about to go run around, do stuff, that kind of thing. So I like being that kind of grandfather with him. My other grandsons, they kind of like, you know, they know that, you know, I'm the fun granddad. I really had to be hard on my second grandson, because he always be acting up. So he think I'm the mean granddad too. And anytime he come over, he know it's a problem when I see him, because I'm always getting on him about something. And so he come in, yes sir, yes pop, yes this, yes that, and then he sit down and he just stare at me like what you got to say today? So for him, I'm kind of like, you know, and then his other granddad is younger too, so you know, he know that I'm the non-ghetto, you know, I'm not the fun granddad, the real fun granddad, because I'm on his behind where his other granddad ain't, and you know, it's not a competition, but you know, it's like, you know, you just know that you looked at differently, so you be like, dang, you know, how can I change that narrative? But I know I'm not about to change the narrative until he get it together anyway. So he know I'm not coming off of him. So we'll see how they go. But you know, I think you definitely have to play a few different roles with your grandkids, and you know, like you said, have fun with it yourself. You know, this is your chance to have a kid that you have input on, you know, maybe DNA, but you can give it back, right? And you can terrorize some kids that've been terrorizing you all their lives through their personality.
See, with me, I think,
be a baby.
See, with me, in my mind, I'm gonna be the cool granddad. To me, especially if I got a grandson, you feel me? Because I'm gonna be the granddad. Like, listen, you know what I mean? You ever heard of Wu-Tang? Come here, let me listen to this Wu-Tang. You feel me? You know what I mean? This dude, that Ghostface Killer, his verbiage is impeccable. You know what I mean? Let me come listen to this. You feel me? So listen to this Dipset album. Let me tell you something.
Right.
You feel me? That's in my mind. You feel me? So I'm gonna be thinking I'm cool. You know what I mean?
Young boy be cool.
Like, yeah, young boy gonna be probably looking at me like, man, you got me listening to this old school nonsense. You feel me?
That's how my grandson is with me when he be listening.
I did that with my daughter.
Music. He told me I don't listen to your old people music.
I'm like, this is classic rap right here. This is real hip hop.
Exactly.
It's real hip hop.
I got my daughter listening to Tupac, but she also knows my Bone Thugs too. So like she in the house and she with me. I'm like, you better know it.
I got that. Yeah, I got that with my kids though. My all my kids, they know I'm a hip hop head, so they all got a little bit of it. Besides my older two daughters, neither one of them listen to hip hop, but the rest of them, they know. They come to me. They come to me for the music, and they come to me for the knowledge.
Now, Chris, I want to get into Willie question, and we're gonna pose it to Skrilla first. So Willie, you want to tell him the question?
Oh yeah. So saw this on Instagram. The question was, if you take a girl on a trip, is she obligated to have sex with you? Is she obligated to have sex with you because you take her on a trip?
No. A woman is never obligated to have sex with you for any reason, no matter what you pay for, what you bought, whatever you think, whatever you was told, whatever you joked about, whatever. Like, nah, not really. I I mean, I feel like if that's what you're looking for with that, that needs to be understood before you take it that far. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with, going out and, taking a trip with somebody and not expecting something in return. But I feel like that's a weird mentality. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's just like purchasing it. Like, right? Like, I'm taking you here, so you gotta give me that thing. Like, what? Yeah. Like, I don't know. I never been into that. If I buy you a drink, you gotta stay with me. No, I could buy you a drink and then I'll go the other way. Like, I don't even want to stay. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with buying somebody a drink. There's nothing wrong with taking somebody out to eat. There's nothing wrong with going on a trip, you feel me? But, at no point ever, and that's something that I want to teach my kids, like, at no point ever are you obligated to have sex with anybody at any time. Like, no, that's not how that goes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I 1,000% agree with him. You know what I mean? There's no obligation at no point in time. You feel me? Nobody's obligated to do nothing with nobody. You feel me? And furthermore, like you said, that should be understood before you even went. Like the fact that the fact that you didn't even have that. Hold on, let me finish. The fact that you didn't even have that conversation, that y'all never had that conversation going in, like, you forget paying for the trip. Oh, she gonna have, because I paid for this trip. That's not even the conversation I'm talking about. Y'all should already had conversations to where you should already know what type of vibe it was or it's going to be when you go on this trip. You feel me? So guess what? If you wouldn't even have to second guess, you should already know what it was before y'all even get there. You feel me? You wouldn't even be put yourself in that situation. To me, that's the mindset of a simp. That's what I keep saying. Our community is filled with simps. That's why you think that way. You thinking simps and tricks. You feel me? You think a trick, you think you can purchase it, you think I done did this, oh, she owe me this. Or I'm going to flash this, I'm going to take her out here, I bet she give me, like, nah, bro. You just played yourself. If I was younger, I probably would have thought, like, what? If I take a chick on, like, I could hear my younger self saying, like, if I take a chick on a trip, she better, you know what I mean? Maybe when my younger days, when I was
better bang you up.
Even in my younger mind, my younger mind would have thought, well, something must have happened on the trip to where she didn't give me that, because we would have all that's supposed to be understood, man.
Right.
What's understood don't have to be explained.
I know my younger mind, I wouldn't be taking on no trip if I didn't know for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? You stay your ass home. Let me call up such and such. I'd already.
I know she's gonna give me the bug. Y'all terrible. Y'all terrible. Here's from a female perspective, because it's not even taking you on a trip. It's even some dudes got it to where they take you out on a date and they expect it. This is my standard date protocol. If you take me somewhere, I have cash to get home, whether or not we have an argument or whatever the case may be, or you thinking I'm about to sleep with you and I'm really not in that vibe right at that point in time. Bitch, I'm getting home whether you taking me or not. Like, that's how I'm getting home. But like, it's a lot of dudes that really have that mentality. Like, I spent X, Y, Z amount of money on you. You're supposed to. No, what I'm not supposed to. Like, if I wanted to, if I was feeling the vibe and you took me somewhere and I was feeling the vibe and I felt like you deserve the buns, I'm gonna give you the buns. But if I'm in that mindset where, like, you acting a little bit extra, I may be like, I was gonna give him something, but now that goes a little different. Like, now I'm not gonna do that. Because now he's acting like I'm supposed to do it. Like, it's an obligation. So now if I was going to do it, now I'm not going to do it because now that shit looks crazy. And then if you want somebody who to pay for something to get done, that's prostitution right there. Find your prostitute. She'll do it, get paid, and then be happy about it. Like, I'm not signing up for that shit. I prostitute for the mortgage. Like, if we together, you know, I said, I'm one of the people that, I'm one of the females that say, like, relationships are prostitution too. I feel like that. Not necessarily in a literal sense, but you sleeping with somebody and you relating with somebody getting something out of it. Whether it's money, the bills paid, or whatever, the love, or whatever. It's some type of prostitution. That's how I feel. But, you know, maybe I'm just being extra. I don't know. But, like, that shit, no.
Yeah, I feel you. Hypothetically, it is. Sometimes you are tricking in a relationship. You feel me?
Nah, I don't consider that tricking.
Sometimes.
Some people do.
Some people do. Some people
will sit there and say, well, I sleep when I get my bills paid. What?
Yeah, some people trick
like,
within a
relationship. Like that. Like, that shit is real.
You feel me? Some people trick within a relationship. And some people like it like that, too. You feel me? Some people enjoy that I guess that dichotomy, I guess that's the right, I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but that sort of situation.
People, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I need real love, and I need to know that we in this together. So I don't need, like, I don't got time, like, you don't got to pay, like, I'm not looking for you to pay my bills. Like, I'm looking for you to assist, but, like, not, like, necessarily, like, we can figure this shit out. But that's crazy.
But like you said, I never was on that. If we go out, we go out. You feel me? If I'm treating, it's whatever. You feel me? My thing is, I'm trying to figure out, just like her, if I want to sleep with her afterwards. Like that.
Exactly.
Right.
You feel me?
Maybe she had a bad attitude all night, and you don't want nothing no more. So she being extra.
You feel me? No, I mean,
well,
or sometimes
I would say that's the flip. Is are we obligated to pay for stuff just because we having sex, or even worse, just because we the man, you know what I mean? Like, are we obligated to pay for everything just because we the man? Or are we obligated to pay for bills or helping out around the house just because we having sex?
No. I think here's my issue with that, and a lot of females not gonna like what I'm about to say right now. But I feel like this: if me and you are dating, and I say, hey babe, you want to go to such, I'm asking you want to go to such because I'm going to pay for it. Like, if I offer, let's go here, I'm paying for it. And on the flip side of that is if we're in a relationship and we live together, we already should understand that bills are we're going to split the bills. However we split them up, make sure they get paid. That's how we're going to do it. But you're not going to be like, but as you being my man or my boyfriend, I'm not going to see you struggle, nor should you want to see me struggle. Now, if I'm fucking up my life, you might want to be like, let me leave fucking alone because you ain't got your shit together. But, like, I'm not looking for no man that be coming at me and paying all my bills and, like, just have him, like, if he want to do it, fine. But at the same time, me being the person that I am, I'm not going to let you do it. I'm going to help you. Like, you can help me, but I'm not going to be solely dependent on you to pay my bills because we're together. That's not going to fly for me.
I feel like it's a yes and a no. I feel like it's a yes and a no. I feel like it's like I feel like it's a gray area in that kind of conversation because I feel like, you know what I mean, as a man, you know what I mean, if you're going out, you should want to take care of the woman. You feel me? Like, what you going out with her for if you don't want to take care of her? Like that's a bad sign right there. Like, but then on the other hand, it's like, what if she into you and she want to take you out? You know what I mean? You know, I've been in situations where, you know, the you know, woman I was dealing with was up and I was down, and because I was down, I kept my distance, but you know, she still cared for me, so it got to the point where it was like, you know what, we're going to go on a date, and, you know, I'm going to take care of everything. And it's like, okay, you know what I mean? I felt weird about it. I didn't like it, but you know, the like I said, the chemistry was to the point where we wanted to be with each other. So she took that effort, and I let it happen. But when I was up, I took care of her.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's crazy is that that I have to say. I had to swallow my pride. You feel me? How crazy it is to say that in order to allow for me to first allow that to happen, for a woman to treat me, or you know what I mean, like take me out. Like it's still weird to me. It's that feeling's still weird to me because how we was raised in society, we was always taught that you're a provider, you pay. You know what I mean? Don't let the women pay. That's how I was taught. So when a woman, the same thing like you said, Skrilla, she want to take me out. I ain't got it. I ain't got a problem saying I ain't got it because I know I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna have it eventually. You feel me? I ain't got it right now, so I ain't got a problem saying I ain't got it. I can't go. It just ain't gonna happen. But every time I ain't got it. Did I ask you if you had it? That's how they hit you. That's how they hit you.
I've done that. I've said that. Like,
yeah.
Did I ask you this? I asked you to go somewhere. Shut the hell up. Let's go.
I'm like, all right.
That's how it was.
Even then, it's like I don't even try to be extravagant. Like we go out to eat, we go to movies. Like you know what I mean. I ain't trying to. You feel me? Like if I was paying, I'm getting a big meal. You know what I mean? You feel me? But she treating I'm just get something light. I'm gonna get something light. I don't know. That's just how I am because it's still to this day. It's still
nah, forget that. My meal still got to be big when I go out. Forget she paying. But no, my fiance, she kind of like that though. I mean, I be thinking I'm about to pay, and then as soon as the bill comes, she grabbing it. You know, so I don't even be knowing when it's about to go down. And so it'd be and that's that's the kind of relationship you're supposed to have where it really ain't about who paying or who doing this and who doing that. If it's a partnership, if y'all really in it together, we are really trying to be a team, then y'all taking care of each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then ladies, us fellas don't mind being spoiled. You feel me?
No.
We like to be
showered. Yeah, I take it
ladies, just so y'all know.
You know what, y'all terrible. I've taken dudes out on dates, and I think it's cute because it's like trading places, like Usher said. Like I can't drive, so you gotta come get me.
Why not trading places? Why can't it just be the standard?
Exactly. That'll be the standard.
Trading places.
No, it could be because it should be like how women like to be feel appreciated. The guys it's like thoughtfulness like that.
All I know is my girl. All I know is my girl is paying for me to go to Vegas in a couple months, and so I know I'm gonna have to put out. So I'm just getting myself ready.
Now hold on. This is how this is the time to end it. If I take you out on a date, I'm getting the draws. That's what I'm hearing now. I put my money on you.
I think it's
I'm taking it, so you better figure it out. You better figure it out. Like ain't no means no. You get touched inappropriately several times. But we gotta wrap the show, guys. Give out your info real quick.
Y'all already know it's your boy Clint. Y'all can hit me up on Twitter at eTrentGroomy. Hit me up on my blog, most definitely at akingstruth.com. That's akingstruth.com. And on Instagram, KingsTruth609.
It's your boy Willie Styles. Get at me at Willie Styles everywhere. STYLEZ. WillieStyles.info for most of my links. StylesRadio.com. And make sure you check out my blog at AskWillieStyles.com. Hit me up.
And of course, it's your favorite girl. I am Sunny_D. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. My blog is unreservedlyme.com. Thank y'all for listening tonight. Go to our website, gstradioshow.com. Get all our information and our links. Go to SoundCloud, Google Play Music, iTunes, and a bunch of other places. I don't think. Huh?
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Cop some merchandise, teespring.com/stores/GST Radio. thank y'all for listening tonight.
Appreciate Skrilla for calling in. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Appreciate you.
For sure. Appreciate you.
Yeah, don't
See
be
y'all
shy calling
7 days.
again. Bye.
All right.